tonight. Listen, family, tonight we gonna get straight in the bag tonight. I'm talking about all four corners. You're gonna like the show tonight. Get you a pen, get you some paragraphs, get you some paper, get you some notes, because we bringing it straight tonight. You're gonna be excited about this show tonight. I think this show is gonna be the building blocks on what we're getting ready to do as we move forward. So I'm giving you a few seconds right now to get your pen, to get your paper, because we're gonna talk about some stuff tonight that you really need to be aware of, and that you really need to write down. Listen, tonight we're talking about building out your portfolio. Now, we've been doing all of this, investing, and we understand that when we invest, we're not investing for 3 months, we're not investing for 3 days, we're not investing for 30 seconds. We're investing anywhere from 3 to 5 years. That's what investing is. We're investing anywhere from 3 to 5 years. Yes, you're going to have some easy money plays. You're going to have some swing plays, but those are all byproducts of what we do on Sunday Night Stocks. And that is, we are investors. We're not trading. We are investing for our future so we can transfer this generational wealth to our children's children, and we can live thereby which also. So we are investing tonight. And listen, we've seen the market corrections. We've seen everything the market has done as far as the corrections. We've seen the pullbacks. We've seen the sideways tradings. We've bought all of the dips. We done bought so much dips, we ain't got no more dips to buy as this market has been trading. We done bought the dips, Pastor Harper, the chips, and everything else. So we don't have any more dips to buy. We have dollar cost average down. We've been preaching that. We've been talking about that. So we've bought the dips, we bought the chips, and we've DCA'd. We've dollar cost average down. So listen, we've dollar cost average, we bought the dips, and we've seen the market do what we call corrections. Some of our plays we talked about last week for you all that was on, some of your plays are in the red, and that's all right. Red is good. I'm so glad Jesus' blood was red, because if it was blue, purple, or green, we all might as well go down to the hard rock and just pull it. So I'm glad his blood was red. So listen, we're going to get into it tonight. I think you're going to like tonight's show. Like I said, I'm just kind of like ad-libbing a little bit so that you can get your pen, you can get your notebook, you can get your stock portfolio, you can get whatever you need so you can see what we have for you. What we're going to do tonight, let me go ahead and make sure I can share my screen. So you all, when you see my screen, I need Bishop to just let me know that you can see it. Hold on, I'm going off right now. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. So listen, what we're gonna do tonight, and that's why I wanted to give you a little time to get your pen and paper so we can cover something. Listen, what we've been doing on Sunday Night Stocks, like I said earlier, we bought dips, we've dollar cost average down, and we've done a lot of other things. So what we want to do tonight, all of the research that we've done, we've taken our 15, what we call, here it is, our growth stocks. There's a difference between your swing trades and then your growth stocks. So what we're going to do tonight on tonight's show is we're going to look at all of our 15 growth stocks, and we're going to build out our portfolios. A well-balanced portfolio build out SNS consists of 125 shares. So that's what we're doing. That's what we got to do. So we got to start looking at our portfolios, our growth stocks that we have, and we got to start getting those things built out to like 125 shares. Because what you notice, if you got 10 shares of this, you got 3 shares of this, you got 4 shares of this, you got 5 shares of this, you're kind of all over the place. And so you need to be able to build out those positions. And those are good positions to be in so that you're not forgetful of the stocks that you're in, but we got to build them out. And that's what tonight's show is dedicated. So we're going to look at certain stocks profile. We're going to look at the historical data, and then we're going to do a little chart work tonight. I told you I like doing charts. I get busy in the charts. So we're going to do a little chart work tonight. I should have made Sister Griffith the host because people are trying to get into the room, and let me back out And then I'm just gonna go ahead and let me stop this share. Let me stop this share and give me 1 second. I want to go ahead and make an adjustment here so people can automatically come into the room without me allowing them to come in. The reason I do that is so we don't have any people come into our space unaware. I come in and doing some things that we don't want them to do. So let me do this before we get it, because once I get onto these charts, I'm not going to be able to let no one else into the room. So what I'm looking for here, let me see. Bishop, while I'm doing this, how was your day? Tell us about what you talked about today, and I'll get right to it.
Well, my brother, we continued the discussion as to what took place after the resurrection. We talked about Peter and his friends as they walked toward the Emmaus Road, talking with Jesus, but didn't know who he was. And as a result of the conversation, as a result of his presence with them, he changed their life. He changed their sadness into gladness. He got them through their grief and moaning and complaining. They got excited about the Lord's work, and they ran back to Jerusalem the same day, the same hour. And they declared to those who's behind closed doors, he's not dead, but he has been risen from the grave. And we talked about, did not our heart burn within while he spoke with us along the way? God is a good God, man. And we give him praise and we give him glory. Yes, sir.
Amen, amen, amen. All right, so we're going to go ahead. And I took care of a little housekeeping issues. Bishop, that was awesome. Are you all able to still see my screen? All right. I take it you all can see the screen. Okay, yeah, good. All right. So what we want to talk about tonight, we're going to look at our 15 growth stocks that we've had. And with these 15 growth stocks that we've had, I want to go over some things so that we can build out our portfolios. We're not going to be worried about what the market is doing right now, and the market is making corrections, and sometimes it's green a few days and then it goes back into this whole thing about being red, because what the market is trying to do, and you're going to see that, family, the market is trying to shake off all of the Wall Street bets retailers, all of the millennial retailers, because there's nothing like a millennial that got, a couple $100, $500 or $600, and they put it all into the stock market. And then after they put it in the stock market and it goes down and goes down and goes down, they're ready to get out of this because they feel as though they're losing money because they don't understand what we understand. They don't properly understand how to invest. They're looking at a get money rich quick scheme. All right. So we're going to go into that. Let's get started. The first ticker symbol that we're going to look at is NIO. Ticker symbol NIO. NIO, that's the first ticker symbol we're going to look at. All right. This is one of our growth stocks. And what do we mean by growth stocks, Griff? Our growth stocks is any stocks that we have in our portfolio that we're going to have for the next 3 to 5 years. The next 3 to 5 years, because that's how you're going to really get the maximum out of your portfolios, and you're going to be able to really get the maximum out of what we're doing as far as this investment piece in these particular companies. All right. So NIO currently trades at $38.12. Let's look at the historical data on NIO. All right. I want you to look at on this chart here. Let's go down to January 13th. Let's go to January 13th. And I want you to follow me on this. January the 13th. All right. January the 13th. As you can see, January the 13th coming up here. NIO had a high of $64.41. It had a high of $66. Let me go to January the 11th. Yeah, it got higher than that. Look at that. $66.99. NIO is currently trading at $38.12. But in January of this year, NIO reached a peak of $66.99. You all hear me say it all the time. Stocks have a photogenic memory. And if they got there before, if you wait them out and you do like we do on Sunday night stocks, we invest from 3 to 5 years, we will get back to that $66.99 and we will surpass that $66.99. Write it down. The day is what? April the 11th, 2021. You heard it right here on SNS. That it will get back to that price target and far exceed that price target, this particular company, NIO. All right. So you see that right there. All right, let's go to the charts. I want to show you the charts on this same particular company right here. All right, we're just gonna, for the sake of time, I'm only gonna do a 5-day moving chart tonight. All right. Let me show you this right here. Let me draw a line here. I guess I'll use red. Let's use red tonight. Red is for the blood. And so we're going to draw a line on this chart. And I want to let you know exactly what this chart is doing. All right. Can everybody see my line? You able to see that? All right. All right. This chart right here, what it shows us, and I want you to look at this chart. I want to do a little chart work with you tonight. This is what's called a climax. No, I'm sorry. This chart right here is what you call a base pattern. And if you see the base pattern right there, you see it starts at the top. This is just a 5-day chart. And it comes all the way down to $38.22. All right. I hope you all see that. That's what NIO has been doing in the last 5 days. And I'm going to explain some of these charts and some of the patterns and some of the positions that they're in. But the last 5 days, that's what NIO has been doing. It's been trading just that way the last 5 days. As you can see, it had some powerful highs. Then it took some dips. Then it had some more powerful highs. Then it took some dips. And now it's back on the run again for some more powerful highs. All right. All right, let's keep moving. I want to go to our next growth position that we've talked about here on SNS, and it's charge point, CHPT. It's charge point. All right, it's charge point. Charge point is currently trading at $27.65. Let's look at the profile. Charge point is out of Campbell, California. It's in the consumer cycle. It's in the specialty retail section. All right. Give you a little description. ChargePoint Inc. provides electric vehicle charging networks and charging solutions in the United States. It offers a portfolio of hardware, software, and services for commercial, fleet, and residential customers. Company was founded in 2007 and is headquartered in California. This is ChargePoint. Let's look at some historical data on ChargePoint. Let's go down to January 13th. Let's go up to January the 13th. That was the earlier part of this year. All right, you see January 13th, ChargePoint had a high of $46.30. ChargePoint is now currently trading at $27.65. ChargePoint is one of the largest EV charging companies in the United States. It is the largest. You got Fuel Cell, you got Blink, you got others, but ChargePoint is the largest. So you see now they're charging at they're trading now at $27. But January of this year's SNS, it traded at $46.30. That's a lot of room for growth. It will get to the $46.30 and it will exceed the $46.30. That's why we got to build out our portfolio. So that's what we're doing tonight. We got to build out our positions. And we got to get to 125 shares in each position. When you get to 100 shares, move to your next position. All right. That's what this is about tonight, building out our portfolios. All right. Let's look at the chart. Let's look at the chart. Let's look at the chart. All right. Let's draw a line here. We'll go back to red. Let's undo that. Let's undo that. Okay, let's draw a line here. Scroll the screen up so you guys can see that. All right, you see what ChargePoint is doing? This is what's called a climax top. If you notice right here, you see you got a climax all the way on your left side of your screen. That's a climax top, meaning that buying pressure concentrated for, watch this here, a short period of time. There was a lot of buying power that came in this particular stock on, I think that was 4/6 around 12 p.m. on the 6th. Around 12, 12:30, 1 o'clock, a lot of buying power came in. And ChargePoint had a climax. And if you notice, it's been decelerating all the way down. It's been decelerating. So this gives us a wonderful opportunity to build out our positions. To build out our positions in this particular stock right here. And I want you to see these charts. It's just a 5-day moving chart on ChargePoint on 4/6. A lot of volume came in, a lot of buying came in, and then you saw a great amount of selling off, a great amount of selling off. All right, let's move to our next growth stock. And all of these stocks we're going over, we want to build out our position. We talked about this one last week. This is Westwater Resource Inc. It's currently trading at $5.23. All right. Westwater is in Centennial, Colorado. Its sector is basic materials. All right. We talked about this and we covered this last week. Westwater Resource Inc. operates as an energy company. Material developer, the company holds interest in Coosa Graphite project covering an area approximately 41,000 acres situated in Casa County, Alabama. We got into this in more detail last week. This is the company that produces graphite. If you're looking at me on your tablet, if you're looking at me tonight on your cell phone, if you're looking at me tonight on your whatever tablet you're doing, in order for those particular things to be powered, you got to have this mineral, this basic material, which is called graphite. It's in all EV batteries. In order for an EV battery to run efficiently, you need this base material. This company right here is the only company in the United States that produce this particular basic material, which is called graphite. All right, let's look at February the 8th. Let's go to February the 8th. And if you notice right here on February the 8th, the high point of this particular stock was $11.45. Westwater traded at $11.45 on February the 8th. So there's a lot of room in between where we are now. Westwater will definitely exceed $11.45 and well beyond. So this gives us a wonderful opportunity, family, to start building out our position. I'm giving you all of the stocks that we've been looking at here on SNS so that we can build out our positions. All right. Let's draw a line here on this particular chart. And I want you to see something. This particular chart pattern right here is called, this is a base pattern. I want you to see that. You got a high point, you got a low point, you got a resistance, and you got a support. This is called a base pattern. Power moves up and down. This is followed by a falling window candlestick. And if I were to put up the candlesticks, you will see that falling window candlestick, but it's still a base pattern. It's still in its base pattern form. All right. So let's keep moving. Let's go to another stock that we looked at here on SNS. Y'all know this one as Baby F. BABYF. Baby F. Elts Nutritional Holdings. Baby F is currently trading now at $5.23. When we talk, I'm not in Baby F. I'm sorry, that's Westwater. Let's go. BABYF. Baby F. All right, there we go. All right, Baby F, which is Elts Nutritional Holdings, is trading at $2.43. Remember, we talked about this probably about 3 weeks, or maybe it's been a month ago, that we liked this particular play. This particular play right here is in, they're out of Tel Aviv, Israel. It's in the packaging foods. All right, it's in the packaging foods. Elts Nutrition Holding Inc. focuses on research, development, manufacturing, marketing, and sale of, here it is, plant-based food and nutritional products to infants, toddlers, children, and adult markets. The company offers baby snack products, baby feeding accessories, such as feeding bottles and disposable sterile nipples. All right, okay. Is everybody following us? All right, hold on. We got a couple people that wanted to get in. Let me let a couple people in. I wasn't able to change that over. Let me let a couple people in the room. All right, let's go back to the charts. All right. All right, are you able to see my screen? Am I back up, Mish?
No.
You're not able to see my screen?
No. Did you make me hold?
No. All right, give me a second. Give me a second, everyone. All right. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So Baby F was a stock that we looked at, and like we said, it's in Tel Aviv, Israel. And let's look at some historical data. They're trading now at $2.43. And let's go to February 8th. February 8th of this year. I'm showing you these particular price targets because I want you to be able to know that these stocks will get back. Baby F was trading on February 8th at $3.53. Everyone mute your line, please. Mute your line. If you're not muted, just mute your line. It's trading at $3. It was trading on February 8th at $3.53, and now it's currently trading at $2.43. Family, again, we got to build out our portfolios. I can't stress that enough. Like I said, we've dollar cost averaged down. We've bought the dips. We've done all of that. What we need to do now is build out our portfolios. A well-balanced, built-out portfolio is 125 shares in one position. Then you move to the next position. Again, we at SNS, we are investors. We invest for 3 to 5 years. All right. Let me draw this line. Somebody mute your line. All right, let me undo that. All right, let's draw this line here. And I'm gonna tell you what these lines represent on these charts. All right. Cancel. All right, we're in Baby F. As you can see, this is another base pattern. You see there was a rally. Let me move it up a little bit so that you can see it. This is another base pattern. You see there was a rally. Then we
can't hear you, Griff. It looks like he lost connection.
Good evening, everyone. Just give us a few minutes.
What's going on, bro?
Hey, Tim, if you made it back, you're on mute, baby.
All right, everyone, you know how this technology is. Let's get back into it. All right, are you able to see my screen?
Nah, not yet.
What about now?
It's coming up. There we go. And Tim, we left off talking about that $45 you owe me. So
Okay.
You can jump right in right there.
Okay. All right, everybody, can everybody see Carnival Cruise Line?
Yep.
All
Yeah,
right,
we
so
want Baby F.
I've covered Baby F. We need to go back to Baby F. Did I cover Baby F? Did you all get everything with Baby F? All right, we'll come back to it. Let's look at Carnival Cruise Line. Carnival Cruise Line, of course, it's in the great city of Miami, where I am. It's in the travel industry. And Carnival Cruise Line operates as a leisure travel company. It ships, visit approximately 700 ports under the Carnival Cruise Line: Princess Cruises, Holland American, PO Cruises out of Australia, Seabourn, Costa Cruises, AIDA Cruises. They have just a plethora of different cruises that are a part of them. And a lot of these stocks, family, you ought to already have in your portfolio. They're trading right now at $29.30. And what I want to show you about this, Carnival Cruise Line has pretty much reached its highest point. Let's look at January 27th of this year. January 27th of this year, if you notice, you see that 1796 there? That was the lowest point Carnival Cruise Line was at this year. Now Carnival Cruise Line is at $29.30. And their lowest point was $17.96. So as you can see, Carnival Cruise Line has been doing its thing. It's been trending. I know one of our SNS family members, Greg Magruder, he's been in the cruise line industry with us for a minute, and I know he's just as happy as all get up. But as you can see, that was the low point. Carnival Cruise Line is pretty much at its highest that it's been since then. Let's look at this chart. I'll explain this chart to you real quick. Let me draw a line. All right, you see Carnival Cruise Line. This is what's called a cup handle. And I want you all to be able to see the cup handle when you're looking at this particular chart. As you can see on 4/7, probably around, I would say maybe around 10:30, 11 o'clock, there was a spike in volume with Carnival Cruise Line. And again, these are just a 5-day chart. I'm not looking at the 1 day. I'm not looking at the 6-month nor the year chart. I'm just looking at 5 days and just trying to break it down just to save some time. But this is called a cup handle. If you can look at, you got a top there, and then you got another little part here on 4/9. That's the back end of the cup. And then you got the handle breaking off right there. So it's a wonderful, wonderful position so that it can get ready to trend upwards. All right, let's keep on moving. Here's another stock that we look at. One of our growth stocks, GPS. Gap, you ought to have this in your portfolio. Gap ought to be in your portfolio, family. And remember, a well-balanced portfolio is built out at 125 shares. All right, where's Gap? Gap is in San Francisco, California. It's in the apparel retail industry. And it has a lot of things under this brand. Gap Inc. operates the apparel retail. The company offers apparel, accessories, and personal care products for men and women and children under the Old Navy brand, the Banana Republic brand, Athea, Intermex, and Janie, and Jack and Jill brands. They have a lot of brands in their portfolio. This company here is going to make us a lot of money. Family, build out your positions. Gap is a wonderful company. And as you can notice, Gap has been moving up. It's been inching up. It's been inching up. It's been inching up, and it's been inching up. Let's look at January the 5th. Let's look at January the 5th. January the 5th of this year, as you can see, Gap was at the high, it was at $19.93. It was at a low of $19.93. Just what? January of this year. $19.93. And we have rolled Gap GPS up to $32.44. And we're going higher and higher and higher in this particular play. So if you got Gap, continue to build out your positions, family. Remember, we're investing anywhere from 3 to 5 years. Continue to build out your position. I want to show you this chart. Look at this chart. This is different from any of the other ones that we saw. But I want you to see this, the line on this one. All right, this particular chart here is what's called a breakaway. This is the it was the highest point. It's called a breakaway gap on the upside. So this is what you call a breakaway gap. When you see this particular move, when a stock makes this move, it's a breakaway gap. All right, and it's a breakaway gap. What? You have a breakaway gap to two sides. You have a breakaway gap to the downside, and then you have a breakaway gap to the upside. This is a breakaway gap to the upside. Notice there was a little pullback around 4.8, but if you notice anything, as soon as it pulled back, Gap shoots right back up. Then you saw a little consolidation around, 12-ish on 4.8 or 4.8, and then when 4.9 hit, Gap, it broke away again. So this is what's called a breakaway gap to the upside. So if you're taking notes, when you see this type of chart, or if you're looking at particular stocks, and you're trying to chart them, this is a breakaway gap to the upside. Now we can reverse this, and then it will be a breakaway gap to the downside. But Gap GPS is a breakaway gap to the upside. Very good move. Buffett is very strong on GPS. He knows everything about Gap, and we've been in this play for a long time. So what we want to do, family, we want to build out our positions. We want to build out our positions. We're not buying no more dips. We're not dollar cost averaging. We're just building out our position because we're investing now. And I'm telling you, if you follow these methods, you're going to really, really be proud, and you're really, really going to make some money going forward. Okay, so let's move. These are our 15. I'm covering our 15 stocks, which are our root stocks that we've, i.e., done the research on. We talked about as a family. You ought to have these plays or some of these plays, and you don't have to have all 15 of them. You may have 6 of them. You may have 8 of them. You may have 5 of them. You may have 3 of them. If you got 3 of these plays, then build out those 3 plays to 125 shares. If you got 5 of them, work on building out those positions until you get to 125 shares, and then move to build the next one. All right. So let's look at our next play. It's CRIS. Curis. Y'all remember we did the research on Curis. This company is in Lexington, Massachusetts. It's in the healthcare sector, biotechnology. I know I saw earlier Jermaine on, and I know he loves those biotech stocks. So when we move to our Q&A part, I definitely would love to hear what he say about this particular biotech right here. But we did the research on this particular play. We like this play. And let me show you a little historical data on it. It's currently trading right now at $11.50. But let's look at March 22nd of this year. And there was a little pop. As you can see, March 22nd, it traded at $13 on its high. All right. Let's see what the chart looks like. Again, we're doing the 5-day charts just for the sake of time. And I just want to be able to go over a few of these things in the chart so you'll know exactly what they're doing and what they're called. Let's put another line on here. All right. This is another base pattern on this 5-day chart. You can see there was a rally, and then there's concentration, or what we call consolidation. All right, you see the rally started on 5-6 and it rallied. Then you saw it pull back. Then it consolidated. Then it rallied a little bit. Then you saw the pull back. Then as you can look, as we go from 4.7 to 4.9, you see a little consolidation in that particular time. Now you're seeing the pull back. Then you see a little consolidation. So this is just a base pattern. Whenever you get a stock doing this, it's a base pattern. And a lot of times, if you're going to do some swing trades, you know, if you're following the charts and you're charting your positions and you're charting your particular stocks, you can look at these base patterns and you can see when the pullback is, and then you can know when it's going to make a little run, and you can probably go in and do you some intraday trades. This is what a lot of day traders do. They look at these stocks, they graph them out, they put them down, and when they see the stocks make these baseline moves, then they ride those swings. I give you a good example. Like where it started consolidating between 4 and 9, then it got to 9, it dropped back, it rolled up just a little bit. Now it's in the consolidation mode again. It's getting ready for another what we call breakout. All right. And a lot of people will come in and they'll trade it up for a few dollars, put 1,000 shares on it, make $600-700 and get out of the position. All right. All right. So this is another one of our plays that you should be building out your position in. All right. We almost done. Let's go to this one here. We talked about this one a while back. BNGO, Binano Genomics. Binano Genomics, again, this company is based out of San Diego, California. It's in the healthcare industry. All right. We talked about it. I'm not going to read the description. You know what they're waiting on. Just for the sake of time, but this is one of our plays. The current price of Binano Genomics is $7.29. This is a real buy zone. When we talked about this, we was upwards of $10. If you already have the position and you got in around the $10 mark, or if you got in around the $11 mark, don't be upset. Don't be dismayed. Build out your positions. That's what we're talking about, having a well-balanced portfolio, building out your position to 100, 125 shares. So start building out, especially on the pullback. All right. Let's look at some historical data on Binano Genomics, what we call bingo without the I. Let's look at February the 16th of this year. February 16th, you see BNGO had a high of $15.69. Remember, I always say stocks do what? Stocks have a photogenic memory. For you all that may be newbies, for you all that's on the line right now, and you haven't bought any positions, this would be one that I would highly recommend right now at $7.29. Because as you can see, it traded February of this year, 2021, at $15.69. And Binano Genomics will exceed the $15.69 target and go well beyond. All right, let's look at the chart on it. Let's see what kind of chart the 5-day chart is looking like. All right, let's draw a line. Sometimes it's hard to get this to stick. Undo. Line, let's go. All right, as you can see here, this is what's called, on this chart, this is called a correction chart. All right, and this correction chart is a power move, and then you see what we call consolidation. All right, you see the power move came in on 4.6. It consolidated a little bit, and then there was some selling off around 4.8, boom, and then 4.8 around, it dropped again around when the market opened around 9:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock, boom, and then there was another power move up. Now it's in the what? It's in the consolidation. It's in the downward trend right now, getting ready to do what? Getting ready to pop again. All right, so this chart here is clearly what's called a what's called a correction chart. All right. All right. Let's move to our next one. And I'm not going to spend much time here because we all know about this stock and you ought to at least have a few shares in your portfolio. I know that I do and Roz do, Kev, Bishop. All right. This is the big boy. This is Tesla. All right. Tesla is out of Palo Alto, California. It's in the auto manufacturing industry. And I'm not going to cover the description because watch this here. Tesla, a lot of people want to say it's in the EV sector, but Tesla does a lot more. It does a lot more. I like to call Tesla a technology stock. I mean, because Elon Musk have done and his team has done a yeoman's job with technology. And Tesla is trading right now at $677.02 per share. Listen, I'm just going to be honest with you. This is just me talking. I'm not your financial advisor. Neither do I play one here on SNS. But listen, if I didn't have any Tesla and I got that $1,400 stimulus check from the government, I would get me one share of this. And I'm going to show you why you should get one share of this. Let's go to historical data. If you just wanted to really put your money in something so that you can make you some cash and you can grow your money, because if you put it in a savings account in the bank, they're not going to give you nothing. All right. Let's go to January 25th of this year. I want you to see this. January 25th of this year. You see where Tesla was trading? It was at a high of $900. Just January 25th of this year. And because of the correction the market has been making, and because of those semiconductors, they had a shortage in semiconductors. We've been seeing a correction. We've been seeing some selling off. People have been taking profits. But remember what I told you, stocks have a photogenic memory. If they get there, they can get back there. This stock was trading at $900. Kathy Woods of ARK Investment, she says by 2025, Tesla will be trading at over $3,000 per share. So if you're looking at a stock now that's $677, it had a high of 900. You got Kathy Wood of ARK Investment. She said this stock is going to trade at probably about 3,000 per share. Tesla is a great investment, and I know Jermaine may want to say something about that later, and we will. But let me show you the chart real quick. It's not really much you can do with the 5-day chart on Tesla, but I want you to see this chart. I thought this chart was very interesting, and I wanted to cover it. All right, this chart right here is what's called a bull trap. Write that down in your notes. This is a bull trap, and I will explain it to you. All right, it gives you a false upward breakout. If you notice right here on 4-6, you saw a breakout. All right, it gives you a false upward breakout so that when it starts to break out, guess what happened? A lot of bulls, and a lot of times we refer to the stock market as being bullish or bearish. Bullish means you want the stock to go up. Bearish means you want the stock to go down. It's in a bear's market, like what we've been seeing the last month or so. That's a bear's market. A bull's market is when the stocks are trending high. So the reason we call this a bear trap is because you notice there was a power move, a fast breakout, and then a lot of bulls rushed in, but then you saw an immediate reversal on 4-8. You see that? It was coming down. 4-7, coming down. Then you see what you see again, boom, on 4-8, it shoots back up on 4-8. But then again, it traps those bears, those bulls, and then you see an immediate reversal. This is a perfect chart of what's called a bull trap, all right? It traps the bulls at a high price target, and then you see an immediate reversal, all right? Let's keep moving. Here's another one of our growth stocks, what we call our root stock. All right, Churchill Capital. I know a lot of you all have this in your portfolios, and I know a lot of you all are seeing a lot of red, but let me tell you, if you hang on in there, if you hang on in there, Jesus said, y'all can tear this body down, but in 3 days, I'm going to raise it back up. If you hang on in there, I'm telling you, in 3 years, probably less than that, you're going to be glad that you bought Churchill Capital. They merged with Lucid Motors. This is a great company here. They're out of New York. Again, it's a EV sector. Let's look at some historical data. Let's go to February the 18th. This was at the height when everybody was thinking about the merger. Look here, this stock traded at $64.86. $64.86 on Churchill Capital. Remember, stocks got a photogenic memory. They get there, been there once, they'll get back there again. Let's look at the chart. 5-day chart. All right, this chart right here is what they call another base pattern. You see there's a rally, and then it consolidates, and then it trades sideways. All right, you see that? I'll just put up the line just for a second. You see there was a rally that came in on 4-7, and then there was a sell-off. People started taking profits, and now it's been trading sideways for the continuum. But what I showed you earlier, it got there, and guess what? CCIV, it will be back again. All right. All right, I'm gonna blow through these other ones real quick. I'm not gonna do everything. I'm just gonna give you some price targets. GMBL is another one of our growth stocks. GMBL, which is Gamble EA Sports. Let's go to the profile. All right, this company is out of Malta. I know you like Malta. Malta is that's near Libya. That's in the Middle East. This is a gambling company, gaming and gambling, esports entertainment group. A lot of you all had this. I know Pastor Burrell got in one time. I think Pastor Burrell was in at like $11, $10 or something. He rolled it up to like 20, made a bunch of money and got out. And I think he's back in. But again, this is one of our growth stocks. GMBL is going to be a major player. They've signed a lot of agreements with a lot of NFL teams. And next year, you're going to see, you will not see these prices, $15.39. This will be at a major high. Let me just show you historical data based on at February the 25th of this year. February 25th of this year. As you can see, it traded at $24.48 early part of this year. All right, let's move to another one of our stocks. TTCF. This is Tattoo Chef. They're out of Paramount, California. They're in the packaged foods. I will read their subscription. Tattoo Chef Inc. is a plant-based food company, produces and sells a portfolio of frozen food. It supplies plant-based products to retailers in the United States. This company offers ready-to-cook bowls, zucchini sprouts, rice, cauliflower, and you name it, of all plant-based, 100% plant-based foods. It's trading now at $19.19. It had a historical high of $27.80. So there's still a lot of room. This is going to be a major player in the plant-based. This is one of our plays. Build out your portfolio. Let's move to another one. And I got 2 more and then we're done. All right. Remember this one here, Immersions. Immersions is out of San Francisco, California. It's in the software industry. All right. Remember, Immersions has this wonderful technology that it offers. And listen, this play right here, you really need to be building out your portfolio in this particular play right here in Immersions. Immersions is in the software industry, again, technology. It's at $9.06. And if we do a little historical data back on February the 4th of this year, it traded at $14.95. All right. So to my newbies that's out there, this will be a great play to get in right now, especially at $9.06. All right. 2 more, and then we're done. A lot of you all have this, AESE. All right, this is Allied Sports Entertainment. They're based out of Irvine, California. It's in the entertainment. They're at $2.72. They had a high of $4.31 back on March 22nd. But this is a great, great play. Allied Esports Entertainment operates as a premier public esports and entertainment company consisting of Allied Esports and World Poker Tour. So this will be a great play. This is one of our root stocks. You want to get in and build out your portfolio. Some of you all have it, and just hold on to it and build out your portfolio. 272, it shall rise again. All right. And here's the last play. A lot of you all ought to have this play here. SLGG. All right. $6.38. Super League Gaming. They're out of Santa Monica, California. It's in the electronic gaming, multimedia. And Super League Gaming Inc. operates video gaming and esports entertainment platform for everyday players in the United States. All right. This is another gaming, gambling platform. You want to have this. I'm going to just show you this historical data, and then we'll move out of these plays. I'll say something, and then we'll keep on moving on. Let's look at March 19th real quick. As you can see, March 19th, it traded at $11.20. Remember, stocks have a photogenic memory, family. And if they got there, guess what? They'll get back there. If these stocks got there, they will get back there. And those are our 15 growth stocks, family. Those are our major growth stocks. And you ought to build out your portfolio. You want to build out your portfolio anywhere from 100 to 125 shares. I know it's at 9 o'clock, but we got to get through this. Kev, if you want, unmute your phone and give us an update on, remember, family, we had Omar Sabik on a while back, and he was talking to us about Bitcoin. And Kev want to give us an update as it pertains to that. Kev, it's on you. Unmute your line.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I just want to give you guys a quick update. Omar had sent out some information a couple weeks ago, and I didn't want to send that information out right away until we had a chance to kind of look through it and vet through it. So what we did probably 2 weeks ago, I missed last week's meeting because of the holiday, but the week prior to that, we a couple of us set up the Coinbase account. So for those, who are interested, I'm gonna send my information in the chat. If you're interested in getting involved in, the Bitcoin plays to diversify your accounts, just send me a text, and what I'll do is I'll send you the information that that Omar shared with the group. And if you need any assistance setting up the Coinbase account, you can feel free to reach out to the group text and ask any questions so that we can share it with amongst the group, opposed to the one-on-one. So I'll send that information out. But I'm gonna just share let me just share my screen real quick, just to show folks what the Coinbase website looks like.
Okay, go ahead, Kev.
All right. Let me see. You guys see this?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is what the page looks like. Just be careful when you're going out there to set this stuff up. Make sure it's coinbase.com and it looks like this here. And it's pretty straightforward. You put your email address in here and hit get started, and it's going to walk you through the entire process on how to get the account set up. Now, what we did was we just set up the what they call a custodial method right now. So Coinbase is actually, holding our Bitcoin, opposed to purchasing a Bitcoin wallet right off the bat. So that'll be the next thing we do as we start to, build out the Coinbase portfolio. So I'll just share with you guys. My plan is I made an initial purchase. You can buy fractional shares of Bitcoin, so don't let the high price scare you. You can buy, $10 worth, $20 worth, $100 worth. So what I did was I just bought, a certain amount of money's worth of Bitcoin. And what I'm going to do is every month I'm just going to contribute to it, almost like a savings account. So that's how I'm going to build out my, Bitcoin footprint. I'm going to invest money that I'm not afraid to lose. Bitcoin is volatile. It goes up and down quite frequently, but if it does what they're planning on it doing, I'm not so worried about that. So that's how I'm gonna build the account out. So Tim, in the interest of time, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm not gonna walk through anything additional because it's, starting to get a little bit late. But we can reconvene on the, on the Bitcoin Coinbase setup if we need to.
Perfect,
Hey,
family.
Tim, this is Servant Dana.
Go ahead, Dana.
I started investing in cryptocurrency last year. I have a position in Bitcoin. I bought Bitcoin when it was at 9,000, and I'm doing really well with Bitcoin. I bought Ethereum when it was 300 and some odd dollars. I got NEO and I have XRP. I am real excited about XRP. XRP was in a holding pattern, being sued by the United States, and they just went over $1.37 yesterday, and I bought XRP at 24 cents. So I'm real excited about XRP, and I got over 1,000 shares of XRP. So I'm real excited about that. That's a paying your mortgage one for me.
Right, man. I appreciate that, Dana, man. That's good. So family, like Dana said, the cryptocurrency, we haven't really been pushing it that much. So that's why what we do here on SNS, we went out and we got somebody that's major in that industry, that knows that industry. And if you all were on the call, Omar came through, he took questions and he talked about everything. And what we did, I think Roz is on the line, Kev is on the line, Bishop is on the line, myself, we got together and we went on ahead and we got in that space. We went on ahead. So we wanted to get in before everybody got in, so that if you all decided that you did want to get into Coinbase and buy you some Bitcoin, because what's happening is, Bitcoin is trading now. Kev, look it up for me. I think it's over 50,000 or 59,000, something like that.
Yeah, 60,000 and some change right now.
60,000. So if you don't have 60,000 to buy one Bitcoin, you can buy what's called am I pronouncing it correct? Satoshi?
Satoshi. Yeah, it's just,
Right.
it's easier to say fractional shares.
Right.
Just-
Satoshi or fractional shares of it. So what we did just to get in the space, because everybody talking about this Bitcoin crave, we went on ahead and we invested $500. Roz invested $500. I invested $500. Bishop invested $500. Now we didn't do it together. Everybody got their own accounts, but we wanted to go ahead and get in that space so that if Bitcoin does go through the roof, like they said, at least we in that space and we can make some money. Ain't no sense of me taking my $500 that I had and taking it down to Wells Fargo, because you know what Wells Fargo gonna do for Griff? They're gonna give me 0.0000000 on my money. So I went on ahead, opened up this Coinbase app, went on ahead and bought me some Satoshis. That sounds good, Satoshis, or some fractional shares. And I got my 500 sitting. I think the last time I looked, I was up like maybe $12, $14 or so. But I'd rather be in that space than to take my $500 and let Bank of America hold it. All right. So that's what we did with that. So if you want to get into that space, we've already been through the parameters. We know exactly what you need to do. You can talk with us offline and we'll walk you through if you want to get in that space. We did 500. You might want to do 2. You might want to do 250. Or you might want to do 1,000. Whatever you want to do. We've already done the leg work. We already in that space. It's secure, and we can move forward. And that's what we try to do in SNS. We want to put you in the best place, and we want to do the leg work for you so that you don't have to run into any difficulties. All right. Yes, sir. Talk to me, Pastor Harper.
Yeah, yes, sir. On the Bitcoin, my brother that just spoke, about 3 years ago, I had a friend of mine whose son works in DC, and he turned him on to the XRP. And I took a few $100s back then and I invested in XRP. And I haven't even looked at it since then, but now I know I need to go back. But I wanted to ask the question on the other cryptocurrency, was it XRM is the other one? I know you have the XRP, is it XRM? One of the other cryptos, anybody familiar with that?
I have Ethereum, which I believe is going to absolutely explode as well. XRP, and I have NEO. I know Bitcoin Ethereum, Neo, and XRP is the one that I got the most. I'm looking for some excitement out of that one.
Okay. All right, I got to go check my XRP because it's been a while. But you got
Hey,
me
you may,
excited.
hey, you
got
may
me excited
be a
about that.
millionaire unaware.
Glory.
We may have a new millionaire in the state of Florida, Pastor Ron Howard.
I got to go back and check it, man, because I haven't checked it. Hallelujah. All right,
Amen.
but as far as XRM, you're not familiar. Maybe I'm just pronouncing that one wrong and maybe something else, but not XRM. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's XRP.
I got the
XRP,
XRP.
and the name is Ripple. Yeah, Ripple is XRP. Yep, I'm not
Okay.
familiar with XRM.
Okay. I think I may have just misquoted that one. Okay, all right, thank you.
Vanette, you trying to say something? We can't hardly hear you. Yeah, your sound is not coming through. Still can't hear you. Come out and come back in. I'll let you in the room. Maybe you might need to come out and come back in. Kev, it's on you.
Yeah, everybody, at this point, we're just gonna open it up to Q&A, before we start to close things out. So if anybody has any questions on anything that Tim went over, I know we were brief on the Coinbase piece, which, there's a lot more to talk about in that area. So we can do that at another time, or just send me a text. But is there any questions on the front end of the conversation as Tim went through those different positions and, how to basically build out your portfolio, or just general questions?
Yeah, I do. I have another question on, I think it was Carnival. Griff, I think you said that Carnival has reached this peak at 29.30. So are you telling us, should we sell that?
Oh
now,
no,
or
what I was saying, Pastor, is it reached its peak from its low of $17.96.
Okay. Well, you're
Yeah,
not
it's reached its peak. I think you remember now, here's the other thing you got to look at, Pastor Harper. The cruises are not cruising right now. And once they open back up and the cruises start cruising and they get all of that revenue coming in, that market is going to really skyrocket. So if you have it, I would just build out those positions. And the family, that's what we were talking about tonight. We want to build out your positions. Whatever you have in your portfolio, start building them out. All right, Kev, it's on you.
Yeah, we still in it. It's just Q&A. We just open it up for open conversation at this point. I think what Tim was talking about is just, we talk a lot about finding these, day or swing plays where we got a good opportunity to buy a stock in one day and it rises up and we sell it the next and make a couple $100. What Tim is talking about this evening was just, kind of building out a long-term sustainable account, that you can grow over the years. So I'll tell you all a quick story while anybody's thinking about questions. I was talking to Tim last week and I had a medicinal marijuana stock, and I didn't even want to buy it just because I'm not into marijuana, but I bought this stock probably a year and a couple months ago, and I bought it at like $7.50. And the company ended up doing a reverse split. And then the company the news was bad. They just started going downhill. The stock got down to less than $1. And I had a decent amount of it. And I was uneducated with how this stuff works. I ended up selling, that stock, and I took a loss. Well, I looked at that stock about a week ago, and the stock is now at $9.50. So here's this company that was supposedly going under and, all of this nonsense. But had I held on to it and just let it recover, I would have been up money right now instead of losing, a couple $1,000, and it was a couple $1,000 because I got a tip from somebody, and I lost a couple $1,000 because of patience and not understanding how these markets work. So I think the theme of what Tim is talking about is, grow that account out, with those longer term stocks, and don't be afraid to let your money sit there and grow. It's the same way you put money in the bank. If you put $1,000 in the bank, if you don't need that money, you're saving it. You're saving it. It's the same thing here. Invest, build out your portfolio, put it to the side and let it grow. And I don't want to talk about no more medicinal marijuana stocks. I'm still mad at that company. Took my $2,000.
So in other words, Kev, stocks do have a photogenic memory.
Yeah, they got more than a photogenic memory. I mean, we talk about it all the time. If the company is not going to fully dissolve and go out of business, you know what I mean? If you're invested in a company, it's what I've learned is, you know, unless you need that money for something, you're better off just holding on to the position and wait to see if that company turns itself around. Because as soon as you sell it, we talked about the Mr. Dow Jones thing. As soon as you sell it, you've taken a loss already. So I don't do that anymore. I've got my whole portfolio is red right now with this whole market correction that's going on. Everything is red. I'm just letting it go. I got to put my emotions to the side and just let all of this stuff recover, because it is going to recover. And Tim, what did I talk to you about a few days ago? We have to learn not to invest in a stock. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Stock is a piece of paper, stock certificate. They don't even issue certificates anymore.
Right.
We invest in the company. So if a
Yes.
company is doing well and it's a good company, if the stock goes down 20, 30%, it's going to recover itself because it's a good company.
Right.
You know, it's just what's going on in the market and manipulation and things like that are what's driving it down and make it go sideways. So if we're into good companies, we want to stay in good companies. You know, your money will come back.
Jermaine, what's
I
up,
wanted to
man?
ask-
I want to
What
hear
up,
from
I
you.
was gonna ask a
What's going
question.
on, man? I'm just sitting here taking it all in, just listening and stuff. You know, I'm just chilling, man, sitting here. Yeah, you're right. You don't put your money in unprofitable companies, especially if it's money that you if it's big money. You know, when I first started, I had unprofitable companies equals an unprofitable portfolio. If you look at some of the companies, even on the chart, the ups and downs, so much volatility, it's just sickening. Like, because if you say NIO, for example, I think they lost like $700 million in a quarter. That's why you see so much volatility. It's just unprofitable. And not to say that they can't be profitable, but anytime you put your money in unprofitable companies, you could lose all your money, especially in biotechs. Novavax, when it first came out in the 90s, it was $380 a share, maybe $300 something a share. Those people that bought Novavax at $380, $300 a share, or even $120 a share, in phase 3, it failed in the RSV and it went all the way down to 56 cents. So you mean to tell me you're going to hold a stock that goes from $300 to 56 cents? No way. And they did a reverse split. You know, I came along and I saw a good company at 56 cents and I was screaming, telling everybody to buy it because I knew what they were going to do. I knew they had a new flu drug. And that's the only reason I put my money in an unprofitable company. You don't. That's how you get hurt. You don't invest in unprofitable, especially if you got your nest egg. If you got a couple thousand, couple hundred, you want to say, you know what, I think this company is going to go, I'm going to buy it. Then by all means, then you invest. That's what you do. You buy the cruise lines when everybody was bailing in March when COVID hit. When Carnival Cruise Line was $8, JetBlue was $8, Spirit was $7. That's when you were supposed to buy. It was another stock that I saw. It was Gap. That was $17. You should have loaded up on Gap. When you buy at the high, and look, guys, I'm being real honest with you. The market is at an all-time high. The Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, it's at an all-time high. You shouldn't be looking at your portfolio till 2025. Joe Biden, they done printed so much money. They done printed over $8 trillion. Inflation is coming. That's why you see Bitcoin and Doge and XRP and Ethereum and all these unregulated, decentralized currencies taking off because the government can't bother it. God forbid they regulate Bitcoin. It's going to be a massive sell-off. I mean, it's just so much money being printed. It's just ridiculous. We are headed in for a huge effect. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but they printing so much money. So inflation is coming. And the Fed, once they see that inflation go, the rates are going up. Then you got Biden. He gonna destroy the tax. He about to destroy our tax. 43% taxes on capital gains. Do you know how much money? With Trump, it was like 23. So when Biden issues that new tax, that big, massive tax on capital gains and stocks, it's going to be a huge sell-off. So that's why I say you shouldn't be looking at your portfolio till 2025. Like I said, if you hold in a good company that's profitable, you don't lose. You don't lose. In the 90s, or if we bought Amazon or Apple or Netflix, the trick is you want to buy it, right, so low that once it goes up, you can basically live off of that stock. When I test drove a Tesla, Griffin tell you, I test drove a Tesla back in March when COVID hit. And I said, this is a spaceship. It was $340. Griffin tell you, I did my research. I saw these robots putting seats into the car. I said, this company is unbelievable. I bought, it ran up, and they offered a stock split. It went to like 2000 and like 20.
You there?
He was so excited he done talked his way off the phone. Man,
Hey, Vanetta, were you trying to say something? Check your line.
yeah, it's still coming through choppy, but that. Yeah, but what he was talking about was true though. You know, like I said before, we want to invest in solid companies. So I don't worry about, the low stock price in a real good company. I'm more focused on just staying in the game and not getting out too early. So if there's any other question, a lot of people still on mute. So if you are asking a question or want to ask a question, make sure you unmute your line.
Hey, Kev. Hi, group.
Hey, what's going on, Rod?
Oh, not much. Listen, I found out last week that if you have a TD Ameritrade account and you buy over-the-counter stock, they charge you a $6.95 fee. And it may not show up. So I want everybody to be careful about that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Every brokerage firm is a little bit different in terms of how they charge their fees.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even with the Bitcoin on the Coinbase account, when you make your purchases of Bitcoin, there's a fee that they charge. So none of these companies operate for free. If they're going to give us an opportunity to, invest in these vehicles and, potentially make some money, they're not doing it for free. So it's always going to be some fees. But that's a good point to take a look at your, your statements. We spend a lot of time looking at the portfolio, but, not the statement. So go check out your statement so you can see if you got any dividends that's being produced and, look at the fees that the brokerage house might be charging you. So that's a real good point.
Hey, Kev, can you give Vanetta my number, and while they ask some questions, maybe she can call me on my line, and then I can relate to everybody, because I really want to hear what it is she has to say.
Yep.
Hey.
You want me to put it in the chat, Tim, or you want me to just
You can just give it. I mean, everybody had to use my number, my cell phone, to get in here anyway.
All right. Let me just pull it up right fast. All right, Tim's number is 305-494-5081. Is there any other questions or comments out there? Don't be shy.
Kevin, you were talking about the marijuana stock. What do you think about CBD?
I think I haven't really looked. You mean CBD is what, as a company, or just the product in general?
Yeah, it's a CBD. Yeah, isn't it a marijuana stock?
Oh, okay. I haven't even looked at that one, Dana. To be honest with you.
Anybody have any information on CBD? Actually, it's one of the ones that we talked about.
We lost you a little bit, Dana. But I haven't looked at CBD, if you can hear me. It's $5.89 right now. I think the history on it is
Can you?
you coming in and out, but the history is down
Oh.
around the $4 range, man. And it's on an upward incline right now. I can say that much about it, but I haven't really looked too deep into it. I'm already into 2 cannabis stocks right now, CANN and Sundial. So I'm trying to just keep it right there for now.
Oh, okay. I'm in CBD and I'm in Sundial. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
no problem, no problem. Any other questions or comments out there? All right, Tim, as we approach 9:30, I guess we can start to wrap it up. You on mute.
Okay, Bishop gonna come back on camera, but before we do that, Pastor Varner, unmute your line, man, and let the family know what you got going on tomorrow.
Okay, Tim, I do a Monday night Facebook, YouTube live program called Dialogue with Dozy. And we got this very exciting, informative, inspirational brother that's gonna come on and light up our lines tomorrow night, named Timothy Griffith. And we would just like to invite everybody on the family to come on and kind of plug the show by asking some questions or forwarding some comments that would enhance and kind of encourage our base to kind of get involved. That's 8 to 9 Facebook Live under my name, Dozell Varner, or Dialogue with Dozy, also on YouTube under Dialogue with Dozy.
Amen. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. Hey, family, you know what time it is? It's time for the Bishop's Take. Bishop, it's on you.
Well, man, listen, patience is a virtue. And listen, guys, tonight has been awesome as always. These guys are fantastic. They are tacticians, strategists, and they're going to help us to get to the next level. So remember, patience is a virtue. Don't make any hasty decisions. Make sure you do your due diligence. And when you make a decision, make sure it's going to give you the right outcome. And I believe we're on the right track. So again, guys, thank you for this wonderful night of education and inspiration and empowerment. And we look forward to the next session. This young lady here standing next to me want to make sure that we make some money because she's going to spend it.
Oh, I'm trying to make some money. I'm business. My ears are open. My ears are fine.
So
We talking about money.
Kev, you got to help me, man. She gonna spend it, like, I got to make a whole lot of money.
I'm trying to
I got you covered, Bishop.
I ain't trying to spend no money. I'm
Thank you,
trying to
darling.
make some.
Let's pray. Father, in Jesus' name, God, we thank you again for this team, for this group,
Yes, Lord.
for these blessed minds that we now have. Keep us healthy, God, make us wealthy. Help us to do what we need to do, God, to enrich our families, to pull each other up the ladder.
Yes.
And we pray, God, that in the end, we know we're going to win, but we pray, God, that you will keep us in the right way, keep our minds, keep our hearts, keep our bodies strong so that we can do what you would have us to do. Bless us now. We ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Bless you guys. Good night.
All right.
Hi, First
Good night,
Lady
everybody.
Charlene.
How you doing? Girl, you looking like your
Good, and
mama.
you?
You got to help me. She's going to spend all my money.
Just like your mama, girl.
Good night.
Good night.